Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real Hacker Hours podcast. Today, I'm going to be continuing with writing a few more checks for my static Ghidra bug finding tool, Phalanx. The particular functions that I want to write checks for are these right here. After I get checks for these functions written, I will then begin going on to the testing phase where I'll be using this against a lot of targets to see how effective it is. But yeah, let's get started. First, we have Memset. In practicality, this might not be the most useful function to check for with the bugs that it can give us, but I still want to write it anyway. So for Memset, let's take a look at the arguments for it. I actually had the main pitch port up. It takes a destination, a byte to write, and a number of bytes. So for this, what are the checks that I want to do for this are very similar to the memcopy checks. So I'm going to go ahead, let's just take a look at those. For that, variable, right? Okay, so yeah, the checks that I do for memcopy, there is the read static check, so is it scanning in a constant amount of size into a static size stack buffer and just do a quick size check. I can also apply that check here. Read variable, right? Is it writing a variable amount of data? Can also do that for memset and also variable write stack check. So yeah, basically all of the checks I do for memcopy I can also have applied to memset. So let's go ahead and write the check for that. So let's do public void analyze memset. We're going to have the function. Yeah. Actually, let me just go ahead and check real quick. Memcopy. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I should just be able to use the same memcopy check. Reason for that being is the destination argument is the same, the size argument is the same. The source argument is different. However, I'm not really doing any types of checks that analyze it. So, however, I might in the future write some checks that actually look at that. So what do I want to do? I guess for now, I will just reuse the memcopy check, or actually no, I'm going to just briefly write another check that's basically memcopy. Reason for it being in case I want to do further development on memcopy, particularly with tracing the source argument, I won't have a conflection there. So let's go ahead and just write it, memset. Also, when I'm doing error reporting, since a memcopy overflow would be way more valuable than a memset, since memset has a static value that it writes, I'd want to separate those with the error reporting because, yeah, one type of bug is going to be, chances are it's going to be way more valuable than the other. So let's go ahead and copy this. Wait, did I put, yeah, that's memset. So let's go down here and add an additional thing to or additional entry to our switch statement. Analyze memset. Okay, we're going to have the function to analyze in the reference, and then let's add a break for the switch statement. Cool, now let's actually go ahead and write, actually it's pretty much for now going to be a straight copy and paste from here. Analyze memset. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Set, pretty much a copy of memcopy. So that's memset. We can go ahead and mark that off. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly run Phalanx just to test it to make sure that it still works, because I did added a lot of code since I last ran it, and I wouldn't be surprised if I missed a semicolon or something like that. Okay, what is the syntax again? It's this. Probably missed a semicolon somewhere. Let's process read. And I'm just going to make a new project. Project 2. Okay, appears that there is an issue here. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, so yeah. Made a typo here. Let's go ahead and run it now. Okay. There's an issue here. Wait, what? Oh, I already imported it. Have to change it to process. Let's give it a second to run. Case Memset can't find symbol. Oh, okay, you have to declare this integer private static final int equals 6. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it flagged it, so Phalanx is running, so this code is functioning as intended. Okay, going down this list, Memset, I think that's basically Memset, but with wide chars instead of just a normal char. Now, I think a wide char is actually bigger than a single char. I think it's like 2 bytes or something like that. But for now, I'm just going to put it as Memset because I don't think we're going to be running into it too often. Memset. So, oh wait, that should be Memset, not Memset. Okay, cool. So, this has been dealt with. B0. I think this is basically Memset, but the argument, the size argument is the second instead of the third. I'm gonna save that for later. Actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and write it now. I will need to, since it has different arguments, or different argument order, I should say, for its arguments, I will need to make a new check class for it. Int b0 equals 7. And let's go ahead and add it here. B0 okay, let's add the case for it. Analyze B0 function to analyze the reference and add the break. Okay, cool. And for this, it's pretty much going to be copy and paste of this. Analyze. So for this, the size argument is the first. No, not the first, it's the second, but without indexing arguments, it's argument 1. Let's go ahead and run it real quick. Just make sure that's still functional. issue error. Analyze. Okay, I forgot to add the B here. Okay, cool. So that got flagged. Okay, so that's there. Next up, we have fread and fwrite. Now, I'm gonna see how this compares to fgets. Fgets destination's first argument, size is the second. Fread destination is the first, size. Oh, yeah. With fread, the size is the second and the third argument multiplied together. And same thing with fwrite. So, okay, so this check is going to be a little bit weird. It's going to be similar to the fgets, however, we're going to need to, that's the right word, alter a few things. So, let's go ahead and, actually, first off, fread and fwrite. Yeah, from the argument perspective, they're fairly similar. What's that actual difference? Right? String point. Writes X. Okay, so fwrite writes it to the stream from the pointer you give it. Fread writes it to the pointer you get. So fwrite outputs it from the pointer you give it. Fread scans it into the pointer that you get it. So actually, I'm only going to be really interested in fread for now, since fread is an input function. So okay, cool. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna pause the stream for a second. Okay, I'm gonna end this episode off here for now and pick up with the next one with fread since my dinner is ready. I will see you gamers later.